Should I read from that script?
You have it or no?
Was okay. I'm sorry, it's John Mins talking. We have.
Do we have a quorum?
I'm just double checking that.
Robin, you're on twice. Do you know that?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, only because I went on the phone.
Hung up the phone. You connected twice on a computer. One doesn't have a microphone though, so I'm not sure what's going on. Do you want me to just dismantle the other one?
Yeah, I just, yeah,
I can disconnect it. Hold on.
okay.
Brian Clifford was the only one that I believe said he wasn't going to be able to.
I think this is Kimberly Evans. I think that's my phone number. I'm calling from my work cell.
Wait, Terry was there.
Four missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you. So I think that qualifies as a quorum, but you can decide if you want to start or not. If you want to wait a few more minutes.
Well, we have a hard stop. This is John Mins. We have a hard stop at 6:30, so I guess we should proceed. So did I guess the first aspect is, did everyone get the minutes from the last meeting?
No.
It seems weird. People are. getting out that. I guess I will,
Robin, you might want to check your spam folder because sometimes AOL goes to spam.
What did it just ask for?
I do that. Okay.
Okay, guys, this is Terry Schmidt, and I'm calling in. I cannot get WebEx to run on my computer. It's failed completely. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
sorry, we can.
Okay.
It looked like you were on before, but so what we're asking the group is everyone received the minutes? It seems like Robin, have you been able to find them?
No.
Should I display them on the screen of the WebEx, Helen, so we could zip through them? I don't know.
Yeah, I can also try and re-email them to her.
I didn't get them either.
They would have been sent, I think, shortly after the last meeting, right?
Oh, okay, then maybe I did get them.
Well, you also sent them on September 16th.
Were they not also included in the with the agenda of this meeting or not?
Yep, they were.
No.
So when was this agenda for this meeting? Okay, let's see.
The original minutes were sent on June 25th. If you wanted to look by date.
I sent it to everyone on the list again. It should be in their inbox. If you want, I could share it on my screen.
John, can you show us? Because I'm afraid if I do anything, I might get knocked out of here.
I don't know if you see them on my screen now since Google.
Oh, yeah, I do. Mhm.
Okay, let me.
Oh, I see an agenda. When was this sent out? Today. And I see minutes too.
Hey, Paul. Want to get batteries for my mouse? Oh, wait, I found them. I found them.
And then that was good.
I found them. I found them almost. Thank you.
So I guess I shared on the screen the minutes. Terry, were you able to pull them up and read them? Hello?
Can you hear me? I'm sorry, John.
Yes. Were you able to pull up your meeting, the minutes and read them?
Yeah. Yes, I've got the minutes and I can read them. It's not, I mean, they're helpful to me conceptually, but I'm not going to be an help to you because I wasn't at the meeting, so I have to abstain on the vote.
For the rest of the group, are the minutes approved?
This is Kim Evans. I move to approve them.
Okay. I second.
Approved.
Minutes approved. So I guess I will bring up the agenda if folks want to follow along. And currently, sorry, I'm trying to pull up one of those. I was trying to write down who is on the call. So we have Kate, Tanya, Kimberly, Robin, and Terry. Obviously, Ellen.
Hi, this is Helen. John, are you ready for me to talk? Because it's super hard for me to hear everybody. I don't know why I can't get the microphone to work.
Yes.
Okay. I'm assuming now that, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to cover some of the things that we touched on the last time. COVID-19 caused us to, obviously changed a lot of our operations over the summer. We were able to run camps at 2 locations. One was at Westmore Park. They were very well attended. And the second location was at Elmwood Community Center. And this was more of a child care / camp model, but it also went well, but it was much less attended. It was only maybe at 50% capacity. We were able to offer some slots for free to families from the Hillcrest Area Neighborhood Outreach Center, and that was very rewarding for them and for us. But it was, we anticipated that there would be, we were led to kind of believe that there would be a lot of interest in childcare over the or during the summer from working parents, but it was either due to a late start because the town council and, the recovery team, was delayed the final decision to open camps until, like the first week of June. So it was hard to kind of, get lots of people. At that point, maybe they'd already made their plans. We're not really sure. But in the end, both camps went very well. And camps at both locations went really well. And I was pleased with the decision of the town council to offer camps on 2 sides of town, kind of capturing many different kinds of residents attracted to 2 completely different programs. We also had to close numerous facilities, as you know. Elmwood Community Center and Westmore Park were only open for the camps. Our 2 senior centers were closed. The community center was closed. Cornerstone, Veterans Rink. We also had the golf courses were closed until Mother's Day, which but they had opened up by the time we met in June. So the impact of COVID also affected how we, how we marketed ourselves. Town hall remains closed. I'll touch on the marketing in a second. Town hall remains closed. It's by appointment only now. We are working at 50% capacity, and we do anticipate that at some point we'll go to 100% capacity, but not in the near future. In addition, it may be by appointment only for quite some time. We know other town halls have opened up, but that's not what West Hartford has decided to do. There was also a fiscal impact. We're still crunching the numbers from the summer, but usually we have a lot of camp programs going on, so there was no revenue coming in from that. I think we were basically breaking even at our two locations because of increased staffing that was needed and supplies. Also, we felt the impact of minimum wage going up. It went up again on September 1st. But one of the bright spots of COVID-19 this summer for us was that we were able to open 2 of our outdoor pools. So at the town council's urging, we opened up 2 pools instead of 4. And we outsourced the management of the outdoor pools to Cornerstone Aquatic Center, the health fitness team that runs health fitness runs Cornerstone. And we contracted the operations of our 2 outdoor pools to them. So we opened Fern Ridge Pool first, and then opened Beachland Pool with numerous safety protocols in place. People had to make reservations online, and for lap swim as well as recreation swim, so family swims. That also went really well. People felt very safe there. They took temperatures when people arrived. They screened them for, the COVID questions of have you been exposed, have you traveled, all those kinds of things. In general, people came dressed to swim, so the use of the locker rooms was very limited. And Beachland Pool, so we did close Fern Ridge Pool I'm trying to find the date. August. Let me get my calendar. Sorry. It closed on August 23rd. But we were able to keep Beachland Pool open until Saturday, September 5th. So that was also a nice feature, having health fitness run the outdoor pools. They were able to pull resources from their own operations, people that they had laid off, they were able to pull back to work at our outdoor pools. A lot of the a lot of the lifeguards that we typically would have hired, we had made the decision, the town council had made the decision in March that we didn't think we were going to be able to open pools. And so a lot of our typical staff had either gone and gotten other jobs or had made other plans. So it was great that we were able to partner with Health Fitness. We liked it so much that we're exploring having them play a role in operating our outdoor pools next summer. But having it be done by appointment only was really good. The lap swimmers appreciated it. They knew there was going to be a lane when they got there. Married couples or people who lived in the same household were able to swim in the same row. But they really made a lot of accommodations, and really, I think, overall, the operations of the outdoor pools went really, really well. We're really pleased about that. Are there any questions about kind of the COVID impact this summer on our operations? The one part that I wanted to explain was the change in how we before I get to the capital improvements, was that we published our leisure services program guide digitally this year for the first time. I don't know how many of you got this or have been able to look at this, but the leisure services program guide is available online. We decided, because of our experience in the spring, we published this beautiful guide, color, new format, new design. We launched it. We were super excited. It hit families the week of March 15th. How depressing is that? Everything in there was canceled, pretty much. So we just felt like we weren't going to take that dive, in the fall, and this basically went to our printer, or would have gone to the printer in July, or by August 1st, and we just weren't in a position to even know what was going to be happening this fall. So as we were developing all of our programs, we knew that we needed to be flexible. We do intend to go back and publish it and mail it in the spring, summer, and the camp guide next year. But we figured this fall we would do it digitally. We've got it at the libraries in a hard copy. We've got it at all our facilities as a hard copy. So if people want to flip through it, they can. But this allows us to make changes to the digital format quickly. People appreciate having the most up-to-date information online. And I think a lot of people are used to, booking online now because they know that that's how you have to register. So in some respects, it hasn't really impacted us a lot. We do know people like to have the hard copy, so we are thinking of going back to that format as I said, for the spring, summer of next year and the summer programs. But again, we're still kind of feeling our way on that subject because we just don't know the direction of COVID at this point. Are there any questions about the program guide?
Did you get a lot of pushback because you didn't mail it, Helen?
We got one question.
Oh, that's
And when I explained why we did it, they said, okay.
That's good.
So, I mean, we might have gotten more questions, but I only received one email from someone demanding to know why we hadn't printed it, why we hadn't mailed it. And I didn't even mention the fact that we saved a lot of money because it wasn't really about the money. It was about just, not having a dinosaur, in your house. We were so afraid that we were going to have something printed and then have it be obsolete. And this was just our answer to that. And I think our staff did a fabulous job. We have a new team in charge, obviously, a new designer, and the marketing has been shifted from to back to Elmwood Community Center, and Victoria Branning, who some of you might know, is the liaison with the designer and the printer. So I'm really pleased with the product. I wish it was printed, but that's, as I said, that was our decision. In terms of the fall capital projects, the biggest one that's going on right now continues to be Cornerstone Aquatic Center. I hope that in March or May or whenever we have a spring meeting that we'll be able to have it at Cornerstone and you can get a tour of the new changing rooms there, the new locker rooms. But basically, if you were in Cornerstone before and you were in the locker rooms, the floors looked fine, but the infrastructure that was holding them up was failing. And so we knew we really couldn't put this project off. And it is on schedule right now. They're scheduled to be substantial completion by the end of the year. And then the final completion done by February 1 or the end of January. So we're still on target for that. The facility is open. We are accepting people, lap swimmers by appointment only, just like we did for the outdoor pools, except we now have 11 lanes instead of 8. We also have the recreation pool is open. We have 2 working bathrooms. We have 2 working showers. We have 2 working changing facilities. And we're looking into having some pop-up kind of cabana style changing areas as well on the deck of the recreation pool. We haven't gotten final approval from the fire marshal on that yet, but we're working on it. People register to come to swim. They come wearing their bathing suit. They've already showered at home. But again, there are facilities there for a limited number of people. They have to take turns. And that also is going very, very well. This is a situation where it's a different cost center. It's in the general. It's not in the general fund. It's in the enterprise fund. So we are obviously taking a hit there, but we are able to service the membership. We also over the summer we did not charge for the outdoor pools. It was free. It was all subsidized. In addition, this month, as the members transition back into going to Cornerstone, we also waived the fees this month, and they will begin to have fees in October. But again, they've really done an extraordinary job communicating. There's never enough communication, but they've done a great job communicating with their community of memberships, of being flexible. They do have some rentals this fall, so that will help the revenue a little bit. But our biggest question, our biggest challenge was, what are we going to do with the girls swimming team? And they came in, they spent 1 week swimming outdoors at Beachland, but they have been coming in groups to swim at Cornerstone, and they wear masks. There are no spectators going to be allowed for obvious reasons, and I haven't heard the final word on whether or not there's going to be competitions or whether they're going to be virtual competitions, but we've been very, very careful about decisions about opening up any kind of facility, but particularly an indoor facility. So that is a major project that is ongoing. We're also building an ADA compliant restroom in Eisenhower Park. That's the standalone building that we've been trying to do for about 5 years. Or longer, actually, because there's plans for it that go back before I even took over 7.5 years ago. So we're finally getting that done, and it appears to be, it'll be complete before, this fall. It'll be finished, and it's good. The walls are up. They're doing the trusses for the roof right now. So I think that'll be a good addition. We also have a couple of upcoming projects. One, actually, we've started is renovating the tennis courts at Whiting Lane. There are 2 tennis courts there. Some people asked, are we going to put pickleball there? And we decided against that for a couple of reasons. There's not a lot of parking. The parking that is there is in the school parking lot, and that is full during the day. And by and large, the people that are asking for pickleball are seniors, and we didn't want to mix seniors parking in a school parking lot while school's going on. We have our eye on other locations where we can transform some tennis courts into pickleball courts, specifically the Buena Vista area. So we are looking at, some alternatives, but we got one question about that, and they understood our answer. So again, people are getting it. But that is going on right now. We also have plans to, and I don't know the timing of them because we probably have to go out to bid, but we have plans to irrigate the baseball field at King Philip Middle School, as well as the lower field at Whiting Lane, the lower field at Whiting Lane soccer field. So both of those projects require, anytime we're doing any field renovation, as I think many of you know, what we try to do is include irrigation, because as we move towards organics or organic treatment or less pesticides, the organic treatments require water. They can't be done without water. And so whenever we're renovating a field, we always include irrigation as part of that. So the field is stripped, it's irrigation's laid down, we bring topsoil in, it's crowned, it's graded, laser graded. And also, instead of putting sod, we recommend that we put seed. Sod comes from sod farms, and they're like juiced up with fertilizer. And when they get put down in a place where you're not using fertilizer, they choke. And so when you put down grass seed and you service it organically, the grass is stronger. But it also means that you can't play on it or use it for 2 seasons. So, that's the catch-22. If you wanted to play on it right away, you put sod down, it looks great, but after a while, it dies because it's just addicted to the fertilizer. So we recommend that we feed these. So we're hoping that we can at least get one of them started this fall so that it would be offline in the spring but ready for the fall because it would have spring and summer to grow. But we'll see what we can do. So we also have, some minor fencing projects here and there, but I think by and large, those are the big projects that we have coming up. Does anyone have any questions about? The one thing I didn't talk about COVID impact, of course, was fall sports. As you know, West Hartford Youth Football decided to cancel its fall season. Many of the other leagues who either were participating in the summer or into the fall did submit operations plans to our recovery team, our municipal operations recovery team, that were either tweaked or approved as presented. And that includes having spectators be socially distant, that people wear masks even outside if they can. But we don't know the future of basketball this winter or volleyball. Those are 2 kind of sports that are indoor, and there's a lot of potential for passing the virus. So we're waiting for some decisions to come forward from the CIAC and the athletic director on the school side, but also quietly making our own plans about what that would look like for West Hartford. We did reopen basketball courts outside, as you probably know, and they are pretty busy and people not socially distancing. So, that's a challenge for us because we want to support the efforts of our elected officials and the governor, but we also have pressure to offer as much as we can to the public and let them be reasonable and protect themselves. So we just, I guess that's a wait and see in terms of what we do with basketball and volleyball and some of these indoor sports this fall and winter. Are there any questions so far?
I had a question, Helen. This is Kate Eichel. For the Cornerstone, would you mind just repeating when it's supposed to be completed, and then how the public can use Cornerstone?
Sure.
Changing rooms.
The facility is supposed to reopen. Well, the facility is open.
Like a cough.
It's supposed to be completed, substantially completed by the end of the year, so December 31st. So even if we said early January, and with a punch list or items that need to be finished up, cosmetic things, for example, would be the end of January. So February 1st, I believe, is the target date for it to be all done, and they are on schedule, which is kind of great. They're great. This is a very good company. People are asked to make reservations to swim there. So you can go to Cornerstone Aquatics Center or cornerstoneaquatics.com, or you can go to the town website and click on Cornerstone. It'll take you to their website and register through Cornerstone. Has a rec desk system just like everybody else. It's just like the rest of leisure services. But that's how you can make a reservation to use Cornerstone.
Okay, but is there a changing facility? You said there's a limited changing facility right now?
Yes.
My family actually used it this weekend and liked it, but they ran home like with their suits on wet. I didn't know if that was like going to change when it gets colder?
There are, in the family changing room, there are 2 changing rooms.
Okay.
But we do recognize that now when it starts to get cold, that would be nice to, even if you came wearing your swimsuit, after you swim, you kind of want to take it off and put on your warm clothes to go outside. So we are trying to get some more, like, not really like pop-up tents, but cabanas, like where you can zipper and you can go in and you can change, and then it has 4 sides, but but it's temporary. So we're trying to look into maybe having a row of 6 or 8 of those in the rec pool area on the deck, because the deck is so large. We think that they would fit. So that might be another option for families.
Wow.
Okay, thanks.
Challenging.
Are there any other questions? Okay. John, do you want me to go on to new business? So there's 2 events that have taken place. So one event has taken place and the other one is about to take place that involve our department. We dedicated the promenade at Fernridge Park recently. This was on September 12th. And as you know, the Friends of Fernridge Park raised significant funds, over $30,000, $35,000, towards the cost of paving a large circular promenade around the pool house, as well as some spokes that go out from it. And we were able to complete about 3/4 of the promenade. And we had a ribbon cutting, well, a dedication, I'll say, to the promenade on Saturday. The Friends of Fernridge Park used a hook as part of their fundraising that said if you donated $10,000 that you would get naming rights of the promenade. And they asked for permission to do that in advance. And we said yes, because it's not like we're naming a field or a park or a street or, a pool after somebody. It's just the promenade. And there's no, it didn't really impact the functioning of the park. And so they received a donation of $10,000 from Michael Schur, who, as you probably know, is the creative writer and director of Parks and Rec, the television sitcom. And Michael Schur grew up in West Hartford on Walden. He went to Hall High School, and he used to work for our department. In fact, in our vaults, I have his job application. He worked as a camp counselor, first in special needs and then elsewhere. And his job application was after his senior year of high school, as he was applying to he was going to go to Harvard College. On his application, I have his social security number, but it is under lock and key, so I'm not going to give that up. But he used to work for Parks and Rec, and he donated $10,000 with the caveat that the promenade be named for Leslie Knope, who is the main character in his show. And so we did a ribbon cutting or a commemoration or dedication of the Leslie Knope promenade, and we had about 50 people there. And it was followed by movie night that Friends of Fernridge Park puts on annually. And it was super fun. The weather was great. And there's a nice little plaque that is erected on the side of the building near where the restrooms, the exterior restrooms are. And you can go and see it. And it's just fun. It's kind of an amusing, event in our town. But the town manager is bragging about it to all of the other municipal government people, friends that he knows across the country. And many of the situations in the show are not that far removed from reality. So it's pretty funny. So a lot of it is based on, obviously, West Hartford. The second event is coming up on this Friday at Westmore Park, and I know some of you have bought tickets to go or to get a dinner, but it is the Picnic on the Farm. Westmore Park, for the last 8 years, Dorian Puka, who's the head chef and owner of Treva and Aver and now Zohara, and as well as the Doro Marketplace. He and I have been organizing a fundraiser for Westmore Park called Feast on the Farm. And it is now, an event that everyone looks forward to. It's definitely got a wonderful following amongst especially Westmore aficionados, but also just people in general who like to support community efforts. And we knew this year had to be different because of COVID. So we wanted to figure out how to do a socially distanced dinner, and they suggested that we do a picnic instead. So we talked about what that would look like during the day with kids, and we still struggled with, how do you manage being socially distanced during an event like that. And so we decided to offer Picnic on the Farm or Picnic at Home. So it's billed as a 2 events, 1 night. The fundraiser offers a picnic style dinner at the park. It's already sold out. So they were going to sell 100 seats there because that's the limit for outdoor gatherings by the decree of the governor. So actually they'll sell a little less than that because they have some volunteers there as well. And then there's also a take home picnic dinner box that you can pick up and enjoy in the comfort of your own backyard. And those are still available. So either way, the event will benefit Westmore Park, the Westmore Park Fund, and it's all to support the park's environmental education program infrastructure. We haven't settled on exactly the next project, but as you know, last year at this time, we had started the fundraising for the outdoor classroom. Westmore Park, the 7th annual Feast on the Farm proceeds went towards that event, towards that project, and it was completed in June. We had a ribbon cutting in early July, and all of the money that was raised, primarily the majority of the money that was raised came from friends and supporters of Bridget Curtin, who tragically passed away. But she had she and her family have a strong relationship with Westmore Park, and they designated Westmore Park as a beneficiary in contributions in her honor, in her memory. And so it is not named for her. They didn't want that. They just wanted to support Westmore Park in a meaningful way. And I don't know how many of you have been able to go up to Westmore and see the new outdoor classroom.
I was there this morning. It's
really spectacular. It's a local company did the base, the foundation, and the chimney, and then a framing company from Vermont came and did the timber framed building with wooden pegs and the whole 9 yards. It's really, really gorgeous. So that it's great, and it's already in use. So anyway, if you want to, you can enjoy Feast on the Farm this Friday. It's $150, so it's $75 a person for the takeaway dinner. It is 4 courses. There is a fish option or a beef option. And you can just pick up your picnic to go and have it at home. But we're pretty excited. The way I said, it's either way, the cuisine, the company, and the cause. are fantastic. So
That's great.
I just wanted to give a little plug for that. We already reviewed the summer programs. The one thing I forgot to tell you was we did also a special program that was just for the Hillcrest Area Neighborhood Outreach Center. That was at Beachland Park. That was 2 weeks of a Shakespeare program that we did in conjunction with the Playhouse on Park. So it was a win for them because Playhouse was looking for funding and infrastructure, and we wanted to do something special for the Hillcrest community because Kennedy Park, the Kennedy Pool was closed, and all of the programs that we typically have for Hillcrest were canceled. In terms, we have already talked about the outdoor pool operations. What we are thinking about, as I mentioned quickly, was that we're looking at discussing with with Cornerstone Aquatic Center, with Health Fitness, the option of doing some work with us next summer to help us with the management of the outdoor pools because they did such a good job. We will be trying to I'll hopefully have an update on that by our November meeting. In addition, in November, what we'll probably also have to do is just review with you any of the changes that we might be doing in terms of fees that we charge. We do have to recognize that the minimum wage did go up on September 1st, but next year it will go up on August 1st. So we have to constantly review and adapt to, the increased cost of labor, and try and balance how do you charge reasonably for something. So we want to make sure that we run that past you before we make any recommendations to the town council, which we would probably do in December. So it's September now, you meet again in November, so hopefully we'll have that on the agenda for you. The last thing there is the facility reopenings, and I want to be cognizant of the time and if anybody has questions. Right now, our 2 senior centers remain closed. We have been doing some research about all the senior centers around our region, and most are closed. I think maybe one is open in Bloomfield. Most are closed. Robin probably can tell us a little bit more, but some say they're going to open October 1st. Some say December 1st. Some say 2021. So we are very much in the wait and see mode right now, but I think that it's several months away. And largely because we want to see how the school district goes, how the experience of the school board, with the opening of the schools, how that goes before we venture into, pulling seniors who are our most vulnerable population into a situation where they're interacting. So that's kind of, we're in a wait and see mode on that. And the final thing that I wanted to talk about was that is an update on park planning. So we did Fern Ridge Park, and now we're starting to see the fruits of our labor there. We have done park planning at Walcott Park, and we're in the midst of some modest renovations there. We did, as you know, we've already done the tennis courts and the basketball courts, and we have pickleball going there. We're going to do the western parking lot, so we have to get it ready to put that out to bid. Then we will shift our attention to the east side of Walcott Park next in the spring. But we also, in the meantime, did some significant upgrades to the lighting infrastructure, the electrical infrastructure in the park. So that was pretty extensive. And we also fenced the community gardens. But Kennedy Park is next on our list. And so I want to just let you know that I'm still trying to reach out to Peter Minuti to see if he would be interested in engaging with us again to use West Hartford as a teaching tool for his students who are studying landscape architecture or park planning. he has expressed interest in that, but I haven't nailed him down. So I will keep you posted. But my hope is that this is something that we can try and do over the winter so that we can kind of get this project going. And I will, as I best I can, I will keep you up to date on that. I'm hoping if he doesn't respond or if he says no, then we'll have to do a quick, request for proposal from some landscape architecture firms that, that can facilitate this kind of work. I really liked the way he worked, and I really liked the way he led our community through. A couple of you I know participated, Robin and John, participated in that process when we were doing Walcott Park. And I just think it's really rewarding to hear as many voices as we can. So I'm hoping that we can do that again for Kennedy Park. Are there any questions?
It's been a very challenging time for you and your staff, and I'm really proud and amazed at the work that you've been accomplishing, Helen.
Thank you.
I agree.
Helen, well, I echo that thought as well, but I was also wondering if the pandemic brought any opportunities that the town was able to jump on to either jumpstart some renovations or take advantage of, lighter traffic in any of our facilities. Was there any sort of silver linings that worked out well?
That's a great question. And some people asked, like for Cornerstone, why didn't we start sooner? And the answer was, we didn't know there was going to be a pandemic. And so the way, municipal government is, the wheels are slow to move. But we all had to pivot to, to rather challenging questions right away, like how do we revamp our summer camps? How do we run pools? How do we operate? How do we keep our parks open and safe for our users? And so, as you may remember, we closed the golf course. We closed it for 8 weeks, for 7 weeks, from March 16th until May 10th, and we were able to reopen it as a walking trails while they were closed. So I think people liked that, but we really didn't have a chance to, other than Westmore Park, which was ongoing at the time, which we were able to keep going. I think they were able to finish that on time and get that done without the busyness of having hordes of people there. I do know, generally our parks were extremely busy and became what we all know already to be an oasis and a place for people to go to get, to have activity and to do exercise when they couldn't do it. They couldn't go to the gym, so they were all, where do we go? It's the 10-minute walk, right? I live 10 minutes from Fern, I'll go there. Unfortunately, we also had plans to plant 10 pollinator gardens this summer. We're still holding out hope that we can have at least 2 of them planted this fall, but we're again, it's just a question of people resources. We did have to lay off a lot of our part-time staff because our facilities were closed, but we are slowly, kind of getting back into the swing of getting some projects done. One of the things we are looking at, and we'll probably talk more about in November, is what do we do about Celebrate West Hartford next year? I've had some informal chats with the event director, Linda Geisler, who asked me if we would be interested. And I just love the way my staff thinks. is instead of having everyone come to town hall for Celebrate, which doesn't really look comfortable, why don't we all go kind of put Celebrate back out and have mini Celebrates in all of our parks on that weekend, you know? So that's just an idea that we're starting to think about, and what would that look like? You know, those are conversations that we'll have with the town manager and the mayor, and, you know, are kind of just to see if that's the direction that they'd like us to go. But I think the committee is pretty excited about trying something new and exploring something new. Are there any other questions?
You don't have a question, but I have a comment. Let's see, can you hear me? You're looking like you can't hear me.
I can't hear you because my speaker isn't very loud. So if you just talk loud, I'll be able to hear you.
Okay, I'll try talking loud.
Thanks.
One thing that we did this year for the first time that the Parks and Rec sponsored were the bicycle trips around. There were Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings, I think, geared theoretically towards families and otherwise geared towards bicycle riders. Actually, it turned out that mostly it was the same people on both things, but it was something that could be done socially distanced, very active, and I don't know. We had maybe 10 people at the lowest number, and we had close to 30 for the highest number on those. And it just was, again, a little bit of creativity, utilizing some of the things that have been laid out in the town by the Parks and Recreation people in conjunction with other folks, and I thought it went really well.
That's great. Thank you for remarking on that. We also had an event called Slow Streets, which took place on, I think, August 30th, which was a slow roll. I think it's called Slow Roll, and it started from Town Hall, down Boulevard towards Sedgwick, and then I'm pointing because it's my neighborhood, to Ridgewood Road, and then down Farmington, and then on 4 Mile and back into the Town Hall parking lot. And you could do 2 laps if you wanted. So that was also kind of in conjunction with the Bike West Hartford, and that, I think there were probably 70, I think they said 70 participants. So that was pretty neat. I want to just thank you all for Zooming again or WebExing again. Hopefully we'll be able to meet in person in November, but it's likely that we'll be doing this again for the foreseeable future. So I appreciate your flexibility in participating in such an odd way. John, did you have any final comments?
No, there was just a bullet about board appointments for 2021 on the agenda. Oh, I don't know if you heard. Could you hear me?
Yes, you said something about appointments.
Yes. It was just on the agenda. That's why I'm bringing it up. But it may have to wait till next meeting.
Why don't we talk again offline when I do see that we do have some appointments that expire but could be reappointed. So we can definitely have that as a first agenda item in our November meeting.
Great.
Are there any other questions or comments? All right, John, it's up to you to close our meeting then. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, meeting adjourned.